One of the most dangerous aspects of both emotional and physical abuse is that they often coexist. The abuser might tell you that they only hurt you because they love you, or they might try to convince you that it's your fault they acted out. These twisted rationalizations make it difficult to break free from the cycle. And over time, you may even start to believe them. They use their power over you, their control over your emotions, to keep you trapped in a cycle of pain, guilt, and confusion. Every time you forgive them, every time you let them back into your life, the cycle starts again, each time more intense and more harmful than before. This kind of abuse can have profound effects on every aspect of your life. It affects your mental and physical health, your sense of identity, and your ability to trust others. It can affect your ability to form healthy relationships in the future. And it can make you feel like you are not worthy of love or respect. If you've been in an abusive relationship, you may find it hard to imagine a life outside of it. The fear, the shame, and the manipulation can create an overwhelming sense of helplessness. But it's crucial to remember you are not defined by the abuse you've suffered. You are deserving of respect, safety, and love, and you do not have to remain in a situation that puts your life or your emotional well-being at risk. Leaving an abusive relationship is not easy. The emotional bonds that are formed, even in toxic environments, can be powerful. But it's important to understand that staying in an abusive situation is not a sign of strength, it's a sign of survival. And the bravest, most powerful thing you can do is leave. Breaking free from the cycle of abuse takes incredible courage, but it is the first step toward healing and reclaiming your life. No one should ever have to endure emotional or physical abuse. Love should never hurt, and a true partnership is built on mutual respect, understanding, and care. If you are in an abusive relationship, know that help is available, and you are not alone. You are worthy of a life free from fear, a life where your dignity and safety are never compromised. Choose yourself, choose your well-being, and remember, you are stronger than you know. Lack of accountability in a relationship is one of the most damaging issues that can arise. It creates a toxic environment where honesty, trust, and growth are stifled. Accountability is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship, as it involves each person taking responsibility for their actions, behaviors, and decisions. Without accountability, there is no way to resolve conflicts, address hurt feelings, or improve the relationship over time. It is about recognizing when you've made a mistake, owning it, and taking steps to make things right. When a partner refuses to take responsibility for their actions, it creates a dynamic where one person is always at fault and the other person is perpetually excused. This imbalance can leave you feeling frustrated, confused, and ultimately powerless. Imagine trying to communicate your needs, concerns, or feelings only to have your partner deny their role in any issues that arise. Instead of owning up to mistakes, they deflect, blame others, or make excuses. This refusal to take responsibility not only damages the relationship, but also chips away at your self-esteem. Over time, you begin to doubt yourself, wondering if maybe you're the one who's wrong, or imagining things, when in reality the lack of accountability is the problem. A person who avoids accountability often refuses to recognize the impact of their actions on others. They might minimize the hurt they've caused, shrug off your concerns, or even accuse you of overreacting. This denial of responsibility makes it impossible to have open, honest conversations about the issues that matter most. Without accountability, there's no growth, no resolution, and no way forward. The relationship becomes stagnant, stuck in a cycle of unresolved tension and hurt. Instead of learning from mistakes and improving together, you remain trapped in a loop of blame and defensiveness where no one ever gets to be fully understood or heard. In relationships, accountability is essential not just for resolving conflicts, but also for building trust. When you can rely on your partner to admit their wrongs, to apologize when necessary, and to make an effort to change, you feel safe and respected. But when accountability is absent, that safety is gone. Trust erodes and the emotional connection weakens. The longer a lack of accountability is allowed to persist, the harder it becomes to heal the wounds caused by the repeated cycles of dishonesty, denial, and avoidance. It's exhausting to always be the one to carry the emotional weight of the relationship, especially when your partner refuses to acknowledge their own contributions to the pain. The refusal to take accountability also affects how both partners view themselves. The person who is not held responsible for their actions may begin to believe that they are above reproach, that they can do no wrong. Meanwhile, the partner who is continually gaslighted or blamed for every issue may lose their sense of self-worth and confidence. It creates an unhealthy imbalance where one person believes they are entitled to act without consequences, while the other feels like their feelings are irrelevant. This unhealthy dynamic keeps both people stuck in a place where neither can grow or find true happiness. Ultimately, the lack of accountability undermines everything that a relationship is supposed to be about: respect, communication, growth, and mutual support. Without it, there can be no true partnership, no real trust, and no sense of security. It's critical for both people to be willing to own their actions, to acknowledge the hurt they've caused, and to work together toward positive change. Only then can a relationship become a space where both individuals can thrive, knowing that they are both committed to taking responsibility and supporting one another in the process of healing and growth. Manipulation and control are some of the most damaging behaviors that can exist in a relationship. They are subtle, insidious, and often difficult to recognize, but they have a profound and long-lasting impact on the person being controlled. Manipulation occurs when one partner seeks to influence or change the thoughts, feelings, or actions of the other, often to serve their own interests. Control, on the other hand, is the active attempt to dominate and direct the other person's life, often stripping away their sense of autonomy and independence. These behaviors are harmful not just in the immediate moment, but also in the way they erode the emotional health and well-being of the person who is being manipulated or controlled. At the heart of manipulation is a lack of transparency and respect. The manipulative partner uses deception, guilt-tripping, and emotional tactics to get what they want, all while pretending that their actions are in the best interest of the other person. They might tell you they're doing something for your own good, or they might present themselves as the victim to elicit sympathy. They play on your emotions and vulnerabilities to create a sense of obligation, forcing you into decisions that you wouldn't otherwise make. Over time, this kind of emotional manipulation can leave you feeling drained, confused, and uncertain of your own judgment. The more subtle aspect of manipulation is that it often works under the radar. At first, it might seem like minor incidents, a partner guilt-tripping you into doing something you don't want to do, convincing you that you're being unreasonable or selfish for setting boundaries. But over time, these small manipulations build, leading you to question your own instincts, your sense of reality, and your ability to make decisions for yourself. You begin to doubt your own worth as the manipulator chips away at your confidence and independence, all while making you believe that you are the one who is at fault. Control is even more dangerous because it often happens through direct actions that limit your freedom. A controlling partner might dictate how you spend your time, who you associate with, or even how you dress. They may monitor your activities, question your whereabouts, and isolate you from friends, family, or anyone who might offer you support. The goal of control is to make you feel dependent, powerless, and incapable of making decisions without their approval. You begin to feel as if you can't trust yourself or your own instincts, and the more you rely on the manipulator for direction, the more you lose yourself in the process. Over time, manipulation and control can trap you in an unhealthy, toxic cycle. Your partner may make you feel as though your emotions, needs, or desires are unimportant, compared to their own. They may make you feel guilty for wanting something different from what they want, making you believe that your wishes are unreasonable or selfish. This creates a sense of emotional dependency, where you feel like you cannot function properly without the approval or validation of your partner. The worst part of this dynamic is that the manipulator or controller often plays the role of someone who is looking out for your best interests, making you feel like they are doing these things out of love, concern, or care for your well-being. This emotional manipulation and control leave deep psychological scars. You may begin to lose trust in your own perceptions and lose confidence in your ability to make sound decisions. As your sense of self-worth diminishes, you become more reliant on the manipulative partner, often at the expense of your own happiness and mental health. You feel as though you are living in a constant state of tension, wondering how you might please your partner or avoid their wrath, while your own desires and needs go unmet. The effects of manipulation and control can be devastating, leaving long-term emotional trauma that can affect your ability to trust others, build healthy relationships, and recognize when you are being taken advantage of in the future. The most insidious part of this kind of dynamic is that it doesn't always look like abuse from the outside. To outsiders, the controlling partner may appear charming or loving, while the one being controlled is often left isolated, alone with their thoughts and doubts. It's important to recognize that manipulation and control are never signs of love. They are power dynamics meant to subdue, suppress, and dominate. True love is about mutual respect, trust, and support, not trying to change or control the other person. In a healthy relationship, both individuals should be able to maintain their sense of self, their independence, and their freedom. They should encourage each other's growth, support each other's dreams, and build each other up, rather than seeking to break down the other person for their own gain. If you find yourself in a situation where manipulation and control are present, it's crucial to seek help, set boundaries, and remember that you deserve respect and autonomy. No one has the right to control your life, manipulate your emotions, or diminish your worth. In conclusion, manipulation and control have no place in a healthy, loving relationship. These behaviors undermine the trust, respect, and emotional safety that should form the foundation of any partnership. When one person seeks to dominate, deceive, or restrict the other, it creates a toxic environment that erodes self-worth and damages the ability to form genuine connections. The pain caused by manipulation and control is deep, often invisible, and long-lasting, but it's important to remember that you are worthy of a relationship built on mutual respect, equality, and freedom. If you find yourself in such a situation, know that you have the power to break free, regain control of your life, and build a future where you are valued, loved, and respected. True love is about lifting each other up, not tearing each other down. Choose to surround yourself with people who empower you, support your growth, and encourage you to be the best version of yourself. When you give your heart to someone, you expect them to cherish it, protect it, and honor it. Relationships are built on trust, respect, and love. But what happens when your partner crosses certain lines? What happens when they repeatedly show you that they don't value what you've given them? At some point, you have to realize that it's not just about love, it's about self-respect, boundaries, and understanding your worth. Sometimes you need to recognize when enough is enough and say, I won't give you another chance if you've done these 5 things. First, let's talk about disrespecting boundaries. Every healthy relationship thrives on mutual respect. Your boundaries, whether emotional, physical, or personal, are not negotiable. If your partner continues to push them, ignore them, or act like they don't exist, you have to ask yourself, what are they saying about how they view you? When someone disrespects your boundaries, they are not respecting you. This isn't a one-time mistake, it's a reflection of a deeper disregard for who you are and what you need. No matter how much love you feel, no one deserves to have their boundaries trampled over. You deserve someone who sees, honors, and values your space and needs. Next, dishonesty and betrayal can tear apart a relationship faster than anything else. Trust is the bedrock of any partnership. When that trust is broken, whether it's through cheating, lies, or broken promises, it is very difficult to rebuild. The first time a person betrays you, it's a mistake. The second time, it's a choice. If your partner continues to lie, cheat, or betray your trust, they're telling you they don't value the relationship enough to be honest with you. You cannot build a lasting bond on lies. Once the trust is gone, so much of what holds the relationship together starts to unravel. No amount of "I'm sorries" can fix the damage that betrayal does to your heart. Then there's the issue of abuse, emotional, verbal, or physical. Abuse is never, ever acceptable in a relationship. If your partner resorts to manipulation, name-calling, belittling, or any form of violence, you are not in a healthy partnership. Abuse isn't about mistakes, it's about a pattern of control and dehumanization. You are worthy of love that lifts you up, not a love that tears you down. There is no justification for any form of abuse, and no second chance should ever be given to someone who abuses you. You deserve to feel safe, respected, and valued in every moment. Another serious issue is a lack of accountability. Relationships require both partners to take responsibility for their actions, their words, and their decisions. If your partner consistently refuses to take accountability and instead blames you or others for everything that goes wrong, it's a huge red flag. Accountability means understanding that we all make mistakes and being willing to own up to them. But when your partner deflects responsibility every time things get tough, it shows a deep lack of maturity and respect. You can't build a future with someone who is unwilling to grow, learn, and take responsibility for their part in the relationship. Finally, we need to talk about manipulation and control. Love is not about controlling someone's every move, thought, or feeling. A healthy relationship is based on trust, equality, and freedom. If your partner is constantly trying to manipulate you, gaslight you, or control your actions and decisions, they are not interested in partnership, they are interested in domination. A relationship should never feel like a power struggle. It should be a place of support, encouragement, and mutual growth. If your partner is trying to control you in any way, it's time to walk away. These 5 behaviors, disrespecting boundaries, dishonesty, abuse, lack of accountability, and manipulation, are not just mistakes. They are warning signs, patterns of behavior that show a lack of respect, care, and love. We all make mistakes, but we don't stay in relationships where we are consistently hurt or made to feel small. You deserve a love that uplifts you, one that makes you feel safe, respected, and cherished. Sometimes, no matter how much you want to believe in someone or give them another chance, you have to recognize that they have shown you who they truly are. And that's who you must believe. So, let me tell you something. Never give your partner another chance if they've done these 5 things. You are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. Don't ever settle for anything less. Choose yourself. Protect your peace. And remember, there is a love out there, one that respects your boundaries, values your trust, honors you, and helps you grow. Don't let anything or anyone take you away from that truth. Disrespecting boundaries in a relationship is not just a minor issue, it's a serious violation of trust and respect. Boundaries are personal lines that we draw, whether they're emotional, physical, or psychological, to protect our well-being and ensure that we feel safe, valued, and respected. When a partner disregards these boundaries, they are telling you that your feelings, needs, and identity don't matter. It can start with small things, ignoring your need for space, pushing you into uncomfortable situations, or dismissing your concerns as unimportant. But over time, this behavior grows and can lead to deeper issues of control and manipulation. A person who consistently disrespects your boundaries is showing you a lack of consideration for your autonomy and your sense of self. They may convince you that your boundaries are unreasonable, or try to guilt trip you into letting them cross lines you've clearly set. This can create a toxic environment where you start to question your own needs and perhaps even your own worth. When you allow someone to repeatedly disregard your boundaries, you begin to lose a sense of who you are and what you stand for. This isn't love. It's a form of emotional erosion. The danger of this behavior is that it teaches you to accept less than what you deserve. It chips away at your self-respect, making you feel as if your voice doesn't matter, or that your comfort and peace are secondary to the needs and desires of your partner. Over time, this dynamic can turn into a cycle where you give, and your partner takes and takes, all while disregarding your most basic needs. This creates an unhealthy power imbalance in the relationship where one person dominates and the other becomes depleted. What makes matters worse is that these violations of your boundaries are often disguised as acts of love, manipulation, or care. A partner might say things like, "If you really love me, you would do this for me," or "You're overreacting, I don't see what the big deal is." They may make you feel guilty for standing firm in your own beliefs, making it harder to recognize the toxic behavior. This is manipulation at its core. It's about controlling the narrative and convincing you that your needs don't matter and you should prioritize their desires instead. Ultimately, allowing someone to continuously disrespect your boundaries creates an environment where you are emotionally unsafe and vulnerable. Relationships should empower you to be your authentic self, to feel protected and valued, and to grow in a space of mutual respect. If your partner consistently crosses those lines, you have to ask yourself if they truly value who you are, or if they are simply using the relationship for their own benefit. No one deserves to be in a relationship where their boundaries are disregarded. You deserve to be with someone who sees, respects, and cherishes the boundaries you've set, because it's only through mutual respect and understanding that a relationship can thrive. Dishonesty and betrayal are two of the most painful and destructive forces in any relationship. Trust is the foundation of every meaningful connection, and when that trust is broken, it leaves behind deep scars that are hard to heal. Lies, secrets, and betrayal can completely shatter the bond between partners, creating feelings of doubt, insecurity, and profound hurt. A single act of dishonesty may seem small at first, but over time, it erodes the integrity of the relationship and leaves you questioning everything. When a partner lies, whether it's a small white lie or a major deception, it sends the message that your feelings, your trust, and your heart don't matter enough to be respected. Betrayal takes it even further. It's one thing for someone to lie, but it's another to betray the very essence of the relationship. Whether through infidelity, broken promises, or actions that directly undermine the trust you've built, betrayal strikes at the core of what makes a relationship meaningful. When you've invested your time, energy, and heart into someone, only to have them turn around and deceive you, it feels like an attack on your very identity. You question your judgment, your value, and your ability to trust others. You may even start to wonder if love, in its truest form, is possible. Betrayal makes you feel small, insignificant, and powerless. The pain of dishonesty and betrayal doesn't just come from the act itself, it's the aftermath that's truly devastating. The trust you once had in that person begins to fade, and what follows is a spiral of doubt. You begin to question every word they say, every action they take. You start second-guessing everything in the relationship, wondering if what you thought was real was actually just an illusion. It becomes hard to differentiate between the truth and the lies. This doubt often leads to anxiety, fear, and a sense of emotional instability. When you can't trust the person you love, it creates a constant state of insecurity and emotional turmoil. Every interaction becomes tinged with suspicion, and the foundation of the relationship becomes fragile. It's as if everything you thought you knew about your partner is suddenly in question, and you're left to navigate the wreckage of your emotions. What makes betrayal so damaging is that it often leaves you with a feeling of emptiness, like something inside of you has been broken beyond repair. You begin to wonder if you'll ever feel whole again, if you'll ever trust anyone the same way again. The scars left by dishonesty and betrayal often take years to heal, and even then, the memory of the pain lingers. It's hard to move forward when the person you once trusted more than anyone has shown you that they don't value you in the way you deserve. There's also the issue of guilt and self-blame that can come with being betrayed. You may ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Why didn't I see the signs? Was I not good enough? The reality is, betrayal is not a reflection of your worth, but rather a failure on the part of the person who betrayed you. They chose to deceive you, to break your trust, and to act in ways that betrayed the love and respect you gave them. No matter how much you may try to understand their actions, the truth remains betrayal is about their lack of respect for you, not your inadequacies. Ultimately, dishonesty and betrayal are toxic to any relationship. They destroy the very thing that holds a partnership together, trust. Without trust, a relationship cannot survive. The lies, the secrets, and the betrayal leave emotional scars that affect not just the relationship, but also your ability to trust in future connections. While forgiveness is possible, it's important to recognize that trust, once broken, is difficult to rebuild. It requires consistent honesty, transparency, and a commitment to making things right. And if that commitment is not there, it's a sign that the relationship is no longer healthy. The painful truth is that you deserve better than to live in a cycle of dishonesty and betrayal. You deserve a relationship built on trust, respect, and love. Anything less isn't worth your time or energy.